Module 2, Services. Lawyers engage private investigators for a number of different reasons, and often this will depend on the nature of the matter and the area of law it relates to. Client matters are unique and vary, so it is important to first perform an assessment on the matter and determine which services could be of use to your client, the client's needs, and in achieving the desired outcome. Let's look at why lawyers engage investigators. An investigator may be engaged to locate a person of interest. Private investigators often locate persons of interest who may be potential parties to proceedings, potential witnesses to a matter, avoiding contact, or subject to a particular inquiry, or debtors. This service often involves public open source information analysis, paid find person of interest data, and human intelligence sources. When engaging a private investigator to locate a person of interest, it is helpful for the lawyer to provide as much of the following information as possible, as this will assist in the locate. Full name, any other name the person is known by, last known address, previous address, date of birth, last known phone number, any other previous phone numbers, last known email address, website, social media profiles, known associates, next of kin, places of work, previous places of work, occupation including qualifications, union membership, and any other relevant information. Another reason you may choose to engage a private investigator relates to the serving of documents. This is another important service that private investigators perform, and this can be highly useful for lawyers wishing to issue summons and subpoenas as well as other documents. This service often involves ensuring service is effected in accordance with the rules of service, on persons avoiding services, and may also include affidavits of service and evidence of service. You may also engage a private investigator to conduct due diligence. In Tesco supermarkets and Natras, due diligence is in law the converse of negligence, and negligence connotes a reprehensible state of mind, a lack of care for the consequences of his physical acts on the part of the person doing them. The concept of due diligence is relevant to a variety of contractual transactions, statutory and fiduciary obligations, and is an essential step in risk management. The due diligence service is relevant to numerous areas of law and essentially involves the private investigator conducting a number of relevant searches and inquiries to manage risk and support the client. An example of how due diligence may be performed relates to commercial transactions, such as the acquisition of a company or business. Due diligence in commercial transactions involves pre-contract and post-execution due diligence, with pre-contract due diligence allowing for the identification of any issues that may affect the sale. Post-execution due diligence in commercial transactions occurs after signing the contract, but prior to settlement, and places a focus on seller warranties. You may also engage a private investigator to conduct field inquiries. This service typically covers a wide variety of services and actions taken by the private investigator in the field, which may include investigating a case, speaking to witnesses, and gathering evidence. This service often involves lead generation, door knocks, witness identification, and interviewing. Field inquiries may be relevant to a variety of areas of law. An example applies to criminal defence. A lawyer may engage a private investigator for their client's defence and instruct the investigator to speak to people in the area where the crime is alleged to have been committed. This is often successful in generating new leads of inquiry, as witnesses may relay information and such witnesses may have been missed by police or not included. Investigators may also conduct witness interviews and may take statements. A good private investigator will be trained in effective witness interviewing and statement taking. A private investigator is often engaged by criminal defence lawyers who wish to have other witnesses interviewed. The private investigator can be a highly effective person to meet with the witness and interview them in a manner that extracts important information about the incident or situation. A good private investigator is trained in producing statements that can be relied upon in court. Investigators are often engaged to conduct surveillance. There are a variety of reasons a lawyer may wish to engage a private investigator for conducting surveillance. It may be to observe the activities of a litigant or gathering surveillance to determine if an injury is legitimate. such as in a personal injury matter. Other reasons to engage a private investigator for surveillance include monitoring a spouse's activities, determining if a particular representation or claim is accurate, and assessing staff and business partners. Private investigators are trained and experienced in conducting surveillance in a discreet manner so as not to experience consequences of being blown. Private investigators also perform covert operations. This service is often used when a client needs to learn more information about the behaviour of someone else, such as a business associate, staff member, or family member. This service may be engaged for a large variety of reasons, such as for the purposes of assessing the legitimacy of claims or representations, detecting if someone has the client's intellectual property, or investigating a spouse's activities. Finally, a private investigator may also be engaged for the purposes of examining a scene and collecting further evidence to assist the client's case.